titled EFS Student Acceptance of Using Learning Management System for Online Testing. And so my presentation include 5 main parts: introduction, literature reviews, research methodology, finding discussion, and last one, I will share something about the conclusion as well as indication. So first of all, I would like to share with you something about the introduction. So with the development of technology, it has become the predominant means of disseminating information through various platforms and processes. And learning management system is included into global educational institutions infrastructure, and it also provides several benefits, especially for online testing. However, some limited studies have explored student acceptance of using LMS, it's mean learning management system, for online testing and the reasons influencing their acceptance, particularly in the Vietnamese educational settings. So therefore, this study to explore student acceptance of using LMS for online testing. And the second phase is to seek the reasons why students accepted. Therefore, we have two research questions. The first one, to what extent do students accept using LMS for online testing? And the second question, why do students accept using LMS for online testing? So next part, I would like to tell something about the literature review. So in this part, I would like to review some key terms, including learning management system, LMS. It is function as a digital instrument assistant educational institution in constructing, executing, and evaluating learning frameworks. And the second one, I told something about the benefits and challenges of DMS. So it is MS provides several benefits as well as challenges. And last one, I will talk about the online testing and its benefits. Online testing refers to types of assessment conducted via technologies known as ease assessment or ICT-based assessment. And it provides several benefits, including reducing resources for teaching and an increase in student numbers. The distribution, so the test is more convenient for online tests. And last one, the prevention of plagiarism by disabling copy-paste function is feasible. So now we'll talk about the research design, the methodologies. First of all, I will mention the research design. This study employed explanatory sequential designs, mixed methods approach, and the figure number 1 show that this kind of design. So we have two phases in this kind of design. And next part, I would talk something about the participants. So for this study, 245 students, EFS students will participated in this study based on the convenience sampling, and they will answer the questionnaires, and 10 students will randomly chosen from 245 students, and they would be invited to join the semi-structured interviews. So for instruments, the 17 item survey used the 5 Likert scales with 1 meaning strongly disagree and 5 meaning strongly agree, based on the TAM's mean technology acceptance model by David 1989. And for the second phase, the semi-structured interviews included 4 open-ended questions. And the 4 open-ended questions were designed based on the 4 themes from the questionnaires. So now we'll talk about something about the findings. First of all, the finding from the questionnaire indicated that the mean score student acceptance of using LMS for online testing was at a high level of agreement. And but for the descriptive statistics test will employ to analyze the mean score across 5 clusters, including PU, PU, AT, and BE. So the outcomes of this examination were presented in table number 2, and the participant agree level across various indicators range from 3.85 to 4.01. So the overall high mean score across these indicators suggests that students have a positive acceptance of using LMS for online testing. And now we'll go through one by one. The first cluster, perceived usefulness. So we can see that most of the participants accepted that using LMS for online testing would enable them to accomplish the test more quickly, and they found they found LMS useful for online testing. Secondly, so perceived ease of use. the participant indicated that learning to operate MS for online testing would be easy for them. And they believe that MS are easy to use for online testing. And number three, attitude toward use. So most of the participants believe that using MS for online testing was a good idea. And behavioral intention, the mean score for student attitude toward use of DMS for online testing indicated at a high level, and student attended and planned and expected to use MS for online testing in the near future, especially in the next 3 months. So now I moved on finding from the interviews. So to gather understanding, regarding student willingness to use MS for online testing, 10 students were interviewed based on the four cluster outline the questionnaires, and the finding from the interview showed that the majority of the participants found MS were useful for online testing since it happened to do the test faster and is the share in the model answer. So next one, in the response to inquiry regarding the ease of utilizing the MS, majorities of the students concur that the system is simple, easy to use, and user-friendly. And they also spread the view that learning to use the MS was straightforward, and that the interaction with the interaction and the instructions on the MS were clear and comprehensible. Next one, when they were asked about the attitude toward use this platform, so most of the participants have a positive attitude toward this platform for online testing since it is a good idea and it's a pleasant experience, and the model's answers are indicated on the slide. So finally, when the participants are asked to share the behavioral intention to use MS for online testing, 90% students plan to use it soon. And however, 10% participants pointed out some topics of MS when using this for online testing. So now to move on the discussion. So the analysis suggests a positive acceptance of students toward using MS for online testing, and these results align with prior research conducted several researchers and who similar found that students embrace the use of MS. So secondly, students perceive MS as beneficial for online testing and attributing its usefulness to the ability to complete study aligned with several study before a previous study. So furthermore, participant collectively emphasize the convenience associated with taking online tests through the MS. So also the student embraced the user friendliness of the online platform and emphasizing its ease of use. And this finding aligns with the finding from two researchers in 2016 who asserted that most MS are intentionally designed to be user friendly. And now I'd like to move on to different things. So the data from the interview reviews some topics of using MS for online testing. However, language barrier emerged is a concern for certain participants and emphasizing the importance of providing clear instruction accessible to all users. And this contrasts the finding from Katsin Khaled in 2016, and the two researchers indicated that the instruction on MS were clear and understandable. So I will talk about the conclusion and implication for this part. So the finding of this research review a high level of acceptance among participants and students for online using MS in online testing, primarily attributed to its perceived usefulness and ease of use. And this positive attitude underscored the integrating MS into educational practices, and participants emphasize the convenience and efficiencies of the MS for test taking, as well as the platform for fostering equal and fair assessment condition. Therefore, the implication of these studies are significant for educators and administrators. Firstly, to provide valuable insight into optimizing the integration of practice and it enhances the implementation of MS, ultimately fostering a positive and effective online learning environment. And last one is doing efforts to leverage digital tool for improved learning outcome and student performance. So this is my presentation, and thank you very much for your listening and tuning.